Second half then gets underway here at Headingley with Featherstone ahead by 14 points. They're playing though now into the teeth of the gale, and I wonder whether the 14 points will be enough. We shall see. Leeds no doubt will want to up the tempo just a little bit, particularly bearing in mind this is their last chance to get things right before that semi-final. One or two of them, Steve-O, looked as though they had Wembley on their minds first half, but this is a better opening to the second 40. Schofield, though, grounded on halfway by Gary Price.
Well, it was the same on Friday night, wasn't it? St Helens players really didn't look as though they'd done much effort, but that's a great pass.
From Ayres to Innes, and Innes for the corner with the strength, but not with the pace to beat Gibson. That's a great tackle again from Gibson. What a match he's had.
Super tackle, but a beautiful break from Craig Innes. He's playing very well, but he threw the ball away. He really perhaps should have gone to ground with this. Thought the support was there. Phil Hassan it was that came flying through.
Innes, meanwhile, has picked up a loose ball for Leeds. They're starting a bit more determined than they were in the first half. Holroyd to Schofield. Innes gets away from Rapati, gets it to Fallon. Gibson can't stop him this time. And Fallon's second try of the match. And Leeds have come out with the words of Doug Lawton and Shaw ringing in their ears.
Well, this all came about from a mistake by Featherstone. They had possession. They spilled it over, a long ball from Schofield, and the big man they called a beast, Kevin Iro. You could see how quickly he sucked in the winger. Manning is coming through. There's no chance for Carl Gibson to stop. This is a long ball. Holroyd out to Schofield. You'll see the winger come in there. He drew him well, did Iro, and Fallon had all the strength.
So just the start to the second half that Leeds wanted. Jim Fallon, that's 8 tries in the last 7 now, 2 here today. Innes the man who picked up the loose ball and set that move in motion. And Holroyd, only one previous attempt and he missed that. This is anything but easy in these conditions. But he's a left-footed kicker, is Holroyd, so it's right for him in many ways. It's got a great chance. That's a wonderful kick from Graham Holroyd. 18-10, Leeds snapping back, the fight back begins.
There you see Iro second in the winger Manning, and it leaves it out for the winger Jim Fallon to go into it. This was a break from Innes that started it all. It was a super pass, wasn't it, from Richie Ayres? And look at the strength of the Kiwi there. But good play by Carl Gibson. He offered him the outside and he took the tackle.
Gibson obviously thought that he had done the job on one side, but he couldn't do the job on the opposite side when the time came for Fallon. Time now for Hanley to have a run. 3.5 minutes, second half, just the start that Leeds needed, that their supporters demanded, and that their coach, Doug Lawton, I'm sure, said that he would like to see also. Harmon, the dummy half, Harmon grounded, the dummy half was Lowe's, Howard was the runner.
Well, there was little doubt in my mind that the coach, Doug Lawton, would have said to them, let's start to work.
Schofield with the run away from Casey, finds Hanley. Hanley gets away from Tuta, he finds Iro. Iro has got Rapati to go round again and couldn't do. Doug Lawton will be enjoying this opening 4 minutes of the second half a lot more than he enjoyed the entire 40 of the first. It's Holroyd's kick downfield. That bounced off his hand, and Martin Pearson picks it up.
Nice kick, he just couldn't regather, could he, Holroyd? But what a great opening from this Leeds side. As I mentioned before, I'm sure they would have been told, let's roll up the sleeves and start to work. They didn't in the first half, but they mean business this time.
Steve Martin knows that his team have got quite a battle to hang on to their lead. Leeds have certainly upped the tempo. Good tackling coming in now from Leeds. Gary Price. Howard launches at Price.
Featherstone realise they can't use the long clearing kick. They've got to try to run it out. That's the best way possible. Keep a low trajectory.
Paul Cook, the stand-in fullback, with Alan Tate off the field and injured. Holroyd at dummy half, and he finds Hassan. Hassan was not tackled completely. He is now by Southernwood. And suddenly the Headingley crowd starts to find their singing voices. Lowe's jinking his way to the quarter line. Hanley the dummy half. Holroyd is there. Holroyd still going. Iro's called for it. Holroyd saw a little gap, and Tuta scrags him to the floor. Hanley to Harman. Big prop forward, straightens up. It's the last tackle for Leeds. Will they try the 1 point? Now they're running it with Hanley. He dabs it forward. That bounced off Malloy's feet and finds touch.
You can see it bounced well and truly off Malloy's foot, the left foot there. Hanley made sure that he didn't touch it. So this will be a Leeds head and ball. More pressure for Featherstone.
Schofield feeds the scrum, gets the possession back. Long ball from Holroyd to Innes. Innes is through Pearson. Rapati scrambles across, as does Gibson. The Kiwi is brought down. Lowe's to Howard. Gets the ball away and picked up one-handedly by Lowe's, but Innes couldn't return the compliment. Gibson has it. There's a wall of blue shirts ahead of him.
Missed opportunity there. It was a pretty hard pass from Lowe's, but he should have taken it in. Had a lot of heavy traffic around him, and the chance gone begging. It's going to be hard now for Featherstone. As we mentioned before, they've got to grind it out.
Howard picked his man out there and got the tackle in, but the ball got away. Callan got it to Malloy, but Malloy couldn't make much ground. Pearson might do now for Featherstone, but Lowe's in quickly with another tackle. Here's Tuta.
Good run by the loose forward there, quickly into the dummy half position. Made valuable ground, nearly to the halfway line.
Pearson just takes advantage of a lull in the wind. The ball bounces back towards Rapati. Fallon, though, has to be given 10 metres grace by the attacking side. And that's why Rapati backpedaled, and that's why Fallon made all that ground. Here's Paul Cook.
Good refereeing there by Robert Connolly. He shouted to the players to get away from them. Don't give away the penalty. They stuck to their instructions.
8 minutes, second half gone. Leeds with a converted try, very much back in the ball game here. 18-10, Featherstone lead. Leeds in possession with Harman. Good tackle by Casey low down, and Price upstairs. Schofield to Irving. Gets through Tuta, but he couldn't get away from Rapati. Irving tried to milk the penalty. Referee says last tackle and nothing else. Holroyd off the outside of the boot, and Innes just couldn't hang on. Here's Ikram Butt. That's the second time that Craig Innes has dropped the ball there, with the line gaping in this second half. But look at the run from Butt, and that's great play from Ikram Butt to Southernwood, to Terry Manning, and at last Featherstone have got into the Leeds half of the field in this second half.
Good play by Ikram Butt, backed up well by his winger also, Terry Manning.
Lovely dummy from Daunt, lovely run. Price will beat Schofield and get home, and that's a great Featherstone try. There's the reaction. Price has been playing brilliantly all afternoon and backed up Daunt with that lovely run.
Excellent skills from the little halfback. Look at the dummy here, and you can see they're held off again. It was Richie Ayres this time that missed the tackle. Superb support play by the big second rower, Gary H. Price. And what price are you going to pay now that Featherstone don't win this game? Super play. You can see they held off. Richie Ayres did not move up. It was the opportunity for the little halfback, Brett Daunt, to throw the dummy, make the break. Support play, as I mentioned, was superb. And Featherstone are taking control again.
Super try then from Gary Price, the man who was signed from Wakefield in August. And just a few moments ago, Martin Pearson, who's jogging back, slotted the conversion over with no problem whatsoever. And so Featherstone have strengthened their grip on this match. It's now 24 points to Featherstone and 10 to Leeds, and we've had 10 minutes second half. So homely little Featherstone, very much Leeds poor relations in terms of cash, leading the Challenge Cup semi-finalists by 24 points to 10. And Steve-O, if we said that the early try in the second half was exactly what Leeds wanted, that riposte exactly what Steve Martin would have asked for.
It was excellent play, wasn't it? He should be happy with it. Two wingers, Butt and Manning, combined well. And the excellent skills from the Australian Brett Dawn pull it off there. But Leeds, once again, they came back with all guns firing in the second half, scored the try, and then they just slackened off in that defensive quality again.
Referee John Connolly looks to the touch judges while the crowd scream on this near side. Meanwhile, Featherstone get on with it with Casey. He's stepping out of the challenges, Casey. Oh, that's a forward pass. He really should have just gone to ground with that and not tried to force it.
Well, you can see the second rower, Richard Gunn, was screaming past him. He made a wonderful half break, looked round the man, the support was there and he didn't give it. But we see on so many occasions these forwards are just striding through this Leeds defence.
Here's Hassan, hauled down. Featherstone defending now against Leeds, but they are on the threshold of the big league double over Leeds, and it will be the first time they've achieved that since the 1977-78 season. And if you look for omens in your sport, that was the last time Leeds went to Wembley and won. I wonder. Harmon, tackled by Tutor. It looked high. It was high.
Deary me, the New Zealander swinging the right arm, getting away with it. As we mentioned earlier, there's been quite a lot of niggling, a lot of sledging, as they call it in Australia, between the two sides. No love lost between them.
Well, local derbies, they don't have much love and affection in them, do they? And certainly, derbies involving Leeds, the little uns always like to do the big uns, don't they? That's a lovely piece of play, this time from Casey. Southernwood just delayed the pass while Rapati got behind him, and Rapati able to keep the ball alive to Manning, and good chasing back by Fallon. Southernwood at acting halfback, gets away from Irving, gets the ball out to Malloy. Oh, collision with Howard, but Malloy just turns round and keeps going. Iro has it though.
But look at the ease that these forwards are making ground.
Tutor to Pearson to Gibson again. Gibson over the top and outside to Calland. Calland inviting the winger Butt to have a run.
Oh, they're just toying around with this Leeds defence now. They really are enjoying this, the Featherstone team.
Pearson with a little chip over the top, and the referee's whistle blows. Leeds have the penalty for the push as the player, Cook, tried to retrieve that high ball.
Yes, you can see the winger Ikram Butt just took out Cook, never made any intentions to go on. Oh, just a little foot trying to plant someone's hand there.
54 minutes gone then, 24 points to 10. Leeds with this penalty from Holroyd to relieve the pressure. We have Gary H. Price on the field, Gary S. Price off the field, injured and watching with Bill Arthur.
Gary, when Leeds got that early try in this second half, you must have been a bit concerned that they were going to come back at you.
Yeah. They came out, you know, for second half, you know.
Really fired up, weren't they?
Yes, and we seem to have, you know, held them back a bit now. We're coming back into the game again. We've had another good try from Gary H. Price. And just hope we can keep it up and, you know, get a good win.
Because you really need one. I mean, I think it's 4 defeats in a row, isn't it, into this?
Yeah, well, for the first time this season, we've slipped out at top 8. And if we beat Leeds today, we'll swap places when we'll get back into, you know, contention for a top 8 place.
They will indeed, and they will also do Sheffield Eagles a very big favour too. The Eagles who we saw down the Saints on Friday night on the big league. But Leeds want a place in the top 8 themselves. That from Schofield over the top to Fallon. Fallon on a hat-trick. Fallon going for that line. And Brett Dawn with the saving tackle this time. Lows the dummy half. Long ball to Schofield. Another long ball in turn to Holroyd. Holroyd swatting them away, dancing inside. Gets away from Casey. Good long ball to Paul Cook. Good moments these for Leeds, but great defence from Featherstone. Richard Gunn hauling the young teenager down. Lowers the dummy half. He finds Hanley. Hanley gets it to Iro. Iro, it bounces off his hand and into the arms of Fallon. Fallon gets it back again from Iro. Thinking about a high kick, and that is in row Z of the stand.
When in doubt, kick out. Not very good at all. Disgust on the face, Jim Fallon, he knows.
Richard Gunn, scorer of one of the Featherstone Rovers tries. They lead 24-10. Be quite a day for them if they win this one. Beaten 26-20 on their last visit here in 1991. Last victory here 4 years ago.
But again, you see this Leeds defence, they're just hanging back. They're allowing Featherstone to run at them.
Tutor, running again, Tutor. Fallon has him all wrapped up this time.
They're having a field day, this Featherstone side. They are enjoying this.
Southernwood dabs the ball forward. Will it stay in play? No, it won't. And Southernwood, I think, fancied then that he was about to score his first try for the Rovers.
That was good thinking from the hooker there. Graham Southernwood realised that the full-back Cook was way out of position. There was just no one there. The winger Fallon wasn't anywhere to be seen. He was up there in the front. And that bounce, you could see just on your left-hand side that it was Cook coming in very late.
Here's Iro. Gets the ball away to Holroyd. Good run. It's Craig Innes rather. A lovely ball inside from Innes to Hassan. Hassan's got Hanley, but Dawn's got a hand to it. And a good job that he did too. 6 to go for Leeds. But it's play on at the moment with Lowe's. Great run again from Innes down that left-hand touchline.
Well, he's been one of the few Leeds players to make the break, hasn't he? He's in top form. They have to consolidate. They've still got plenty of time, Leeds.
Here's Ayres. It's 6 more tackles here. 4 Leeds. Schofield in possession for them. Now it's with Hanley. Hanley standing in the tackle, getting it to Lowe's. Lowe's saying, well, let's have a go down the left-hand side with Cook.
This is where the forward should really be charging in.
And there's a player flat out. A Featherstone player is down. The touch judge is on. The referee will hold the clock. There was a right schmozzle going on. It's Richard Gunn who's flat out. Touch judge was quickly onto the scene. Gunn hasn't moved since he hit the deck. I didn't see what went on, but the touch judge did, and he will now report to Robert Connolly. But we've been talking about this all afternoon, Steve-O.
Yes,
plenty going on out there.
Very much, a lot of niggling, and I think you might find Ellery Hanley is the one that they're going to bring to task by the referee Robert Connolly.
Long discussion between touch judge and referee. And the referee, Connolly, is sending Ellery Hanley away while the discussion continues. Mr. Hanley always anxious to put in his 2 penn'orth. Here it is. This is the incident just on the right of frame here. Hanley certainly is involved with Gunn there. And something went on as our camera followed the ball. This might be clearer, Steve-O.
Well, I think the referee, Robert Connolly, going to have a few words. What happens here? Well, as the Well, you can't see anything untoward, but the touch judge did. He's given them the opportunity, and he's saying, now, pack it in. I know it's a bit of a hard game, but let's just get on with it.
What will his decision be?
Penalty to Featherstone.
Penalty Featherstone against Hanley. Hanley stood in the tackle while Gunn made it, and perhaps just caught him with the knee as he went down. Anyway, come what may, Featherstone have the penalty, and hopefully tempers will settle. Hanley in quickly on Southernwood.
He's had a big game as a hooker, Graham Southernwood. Made vital yards from the dummy half position.
This fella's played well too, Gary Price. Wrestled to the floor.
All the Featherstone pack. They've worked hard, they've shared the work.
Tutor, and that was high by Harvey Howard. On Brendan Tutor, he feels the nose.
Well, he's had a few of these in his career. There's a collision with the head, I think. But it was a little bit too high, the swinging left arm. Leeds are losing their way. It's not the best build-up towards their semi-final.
They're losing their cool a bit as Tutor takes it on again for them. Gets away to Southernwood, who in turn finds Gunn. Gunn with no ill effects from that clout. Here's Pearson coming back towards the heavy traffic once more. Pearson, lovely dancing run from him. He looked for some support on his left-hand side there, but Manning had drifted infield, the number 5. This is Southernwood. Manning's there this time. Iro just brings him down with a little bit of help and considerable weight from Howard. Southernwood again, Daunt, trying to dance his way past Hanley, gets away from him, keeps the ball alive. Richie Ayres brings the Featherstone man to the ground. They're right in front of the sticks. Will they go for the one-pointer? No, they're going to run it with Pearson. Dinks it over the top for Gibson. It bounces timely for Featherstone, but the referee says play on, and Malloy will collect it, and Schofield will give the tackle, and it's 6 to go here for Featherstone. Pearson to Casey.
Well, we saw the little chip over again, causing a lot of concern in this Leeds defence. They're mesmerised at the moment.
If Gibson could have held on to that, it was try time.
They're going too high, Leeds. Far too many players are just grabbing at them.
There was one Hanley on Southernwood. This is Gary Price. 3 of them have to bring him down.
The second marker for Leeds is not working. They're just standing back. You could see quite clearly there.
Daunt to Rapati. That was a good tackle by Irving. Southernwood to Casey. Casey, who set the tone for this match with that wonderful run in the opening minutes. This is Richard Gunn. Featherstone really are playing with them, and the Leeds supporters getting a bit impatient as Butt straightens up, goes in and scores. Cook and Irving were left for dead, and Ikram Butt with a try.
Well, I can't believe this. Featherstone have just toyed with this Leeds defence on this occasion. They've kept the ball alive. There you see the big prop forward, Leo Casey, get it away. Second rower, Richard Gunn. Look at that. They're just trying to swat them. They're all stood still, and this guy goes through them like a dose of salt. Look at that. Some of these Leeds players are thinking about getting fitted up for the Wembley Blaze, and I'm sure. That was woeful defence.
And the remarkable thing about this performance from Featherstone here is that 3 ex-Leeds men have scored tries as Pearson adds the extra 2, and suddenly Featherstone have taken a stranglehold on proceedings at Headingley. They lead by 30 points to 10.
You're watching Sky Sports.
Impatience is the key word on the terraces here at Headingley as Holroyd restarts, with Leeds trailing by 10 points to 30 against their neighbours from Post Office Road, Featherstone. Leeds with a quarter of an hour of this match to go to salvage their pride. This is their last match before the semi-final. We saw St Helens very much out of sorts at the Don Valley Stadium in Sheffield on Friday, and I fancy that both themselves and Leeds, as you've been implying all this afternoon, Steve-O, have got eyes and thoughts about getting fitted up for Wembley suits.
Well, on this display, quite a few of them won't even be getting on the coach to Wembley. Either team to win, they've got to realise that they've got to make and play for their place. And there's been some very ordinary performances from Leeds. The defence has been awful, but that has been the highlight of this Featherstone side. Let's take nothing away from them. They have worked. Leeds didn't bother.
Yes, they've worked tirelessly, coming into this match on the back of 4 straight defeats, Featherstone Rovers. Steve Martin telling me last night that they're having all sorts of injury problems also. But my word, haven't they come out here and performed very, very impressively indeed. And they're on their way to the top 8 tonight if they hang on to this. Schofield is able to take that, play the ball to himself. There was no marker standing in front of him. Hanley is halted, but keeps the movement going to Lowe's. Lowe's up to the halfway line. Last tackle here for Leeds. And a little bit of niggle creeping in.
And you can see Robert Connolly there point to James Lowe's, saying, ease off, get away. Geez, there's been some niggling in this game.
But Featherstone coming out of it with much credit. Next Friday, by the way, we're at the Willows. It's a 10 o'clock start for Salford against Bradford, not on the night. The match kicks off at 7:30, but you can see all the action on Sky at 10 o'clock. The league leaders, Bradford Northern, maintaining their pursuit of this championship. A championship that does not interest either Leeds or Featherstone, but certainly the Old Trafford Premiership does, as does the Cup for Leeds and Schofield, trying to engineer something for them. And it had to be a good tackle from Price, and was, though he's lying all over Schofield as he gets to his feet. Here's Fallon, the man on a hat-trick. Hanley, the dummy half. Holroyd. Elusive player is Holroyd. Little kick over the top. He's chasing it himself. Terry Manning is there, and I think Manning then stood out. It doesn't matter anyway. He's been trapped in goal. It'll be a dropout.
Slip there, and they see the foot over the dead in-goal line. And with the drop out from right underneath the sticks. Now, what can Leeds do from this? Surely they've got to try to grab a couple of tries to lift their spirits. It has not been one of their better performances this season.
Featherstone just making a change. Leo Casey, who's had a stormer of a game for them, is coming off for a well-earned break. And on comes Paul Bonson, a GB under-21 international who's been on the bench for the last couple of appearances to add his strength to the pack.
That ball did not go 10 metres.
That'll be a penalty right in front. This is how strong the wind is. Look at this. Tie your boomerang down, boy.
Came straight back, didn't it? It's a penalty in front of the post, but don't expect Leeds to kick for the 2. They want 6. They won't get them like that. Errors all the way through. Schofield disgusted.
And rightly so. And so are the Leeds fans.
This is Pearson, who has been impressive here at Headingley this afternoon. Pearson, in fact, everybody in the orange jerseys of Featherstone most certainly have been. No one more than Rapati. Powerful run from Rapati and stopped by Fallon, who slides him out of play.
Well, he's not happy with the result, but it was great footwork, wasn't it? In and out and around Fallon. Full credit to Fallon. He came back and made sure that he got hold of him. Had the speed on him, did Fallon. But there again we saw feeble attempt from Leeds to tackle.
Iro with a diagonal run inside Gibson, but the referee has ruled it back for obstruction.
Well, it was just before then. Iro used a man on the outside. It's a little bit clearer there. That's the one. James Lowe's running through. Can't do that.
They were thinking about taking a shot at goal from the penalty, but in the wind, considering what happened to them with the drop out from under the posts, they've elected to run it, and I think wisely, with Gunn. Oh, Harvey Howard, that was low, very, very high blow.
He's going for the pocket, I think, is Robert Connolly. Look at that, swinging arms. He has stopped the clock. Now then, could this have a big bearing? Ellery Hanley quickly going across to the referee. Oh, dearie me, this could be vital.
If he goes on a red card and gets a ban, Howard will miss the semi-final. This is a critical moment for Leeds. There's no doubt it was a high tackle on Richard Gunn. Bang!
Straight at him. Reverse rolls. Gunn really did get it then. He has stopped the clock. He's wanting to see how badly injured. Now, what are we going to see now?
The referee has had a glance. He has got the captain of Leeds. He has got the perpetrator of the stiff arm. And I think Harvey Howard, who got a sending off sufficient earlier in the cup run to play against Warrington, is going to be let off here this afternoon. He is.
Well, he's a fortunate man. The patience of the referee, Robert Connolly, holds.
And I think Harvey Howard will breathe a very, very big sigh of relief.
Not only that, after this kick, I think one Harvey Howard will be substituted. Or have they got any left?
Pearson then 5 from 7, bang in front, 20 metres out. In any other day, this would be easy. Not so today, but it's all right for Pearson. I think that will just about wrap up the 2 points here. 32 points to 10. But Steve-O, something there for people to talk about. And would you believe it? The number 10 sign has appeared, and Harvey Howard is going to be substituted and taken off by his coach, Doug Lawton. You've read it perfectly, Steve-O, once again.
A lucky boy, and Doug Lawton knows that. He's not going to take another risk.
So Gary Rose returns, and Harvey Howard takes a seat on the bench, where he so easily might have been taking an early bath. An early bath that would have put him out of the semi-final had he got a suspension, but he escapes. That's the major talking point from Headingley this afternoon, but it should not detract from an excellent display by Featherstone Rovers, and Doug Lawton will be the first to admit that. Here's Bonson, the Featherstone sub.
Full credit to Featherstone, they really did roll the sleeves up early in the game. They worked hard, their forwards have worked hard, shared the work, and that's the advantage. Runs from dummy half, quick play of the ball, has caught this Leeds defence. It's just mesmerised them.
I wonder whether Doug Lawton has got an earpiece on and he's listening to your commentary, Steve-O, because you called for Howard to be substituted, and next thing is the number 10 came off the bench and off he goes.
It was only common sense, and Dougie Lawton has got plenty of that.
Pearson with the kick downfield. Cook collects it for Leeds. A famous victory here on the way for Featherstone Rovers. Oof, that was a bit of a swinging arm then from Price as Cook went down. Here's Hassan. Good run from Hassan.
He's worked hard, hasn't he, since he came on. He's tried, he's perhaps made more ground than some of the forwards should have been doing.
This fella's played well, Innes, but he's given the ball away there to Southernwood. Now Bonson. Good tackling by Hanley, bit of help from Gary Rose. We're 5 minutes away from full time, 5 minutes away from a very famous Featherstone victory. 32-10. You wouldn't have predicted this, would you? In fact, you didn't.
Thanks for the reminder.
Pearson trying to duck under the challenges.
He's a talented player, isn't he? Number 6, Martin Pearson. The start of the future.
Daunt, a drop goal attempt from Brett Daunt. Ambitious in these conditions.
Just a bit of salt to add to the wounds. But it was off target. And I'm sure this Leeds side will breathe a sigh of relief when this is all over.
Hanley could do no more then than hack the ball forward. Our statistician Ian Proctor's been searching the record books. This is the best post-war victory for Featherstone at Headingley by a mile. Gunn with the run, halted by Schofield and Ayres. Southernwood is the dummy half. Daunt, Pearson, Price.
Been a good performance from Featherstone when you think about the fact that many thought that the Rovers would struggle in the first division, but here they are making their way into the top 8, and that has got to be a penalty. Did not go back the necessary 10 yards. Neil Harmon, the man caught. It's been a frustrating day for Leeds. There you see him. He has to come right back and face up square in front. He did not. And Featherstone quite happy to let the clock just tick away and go for the 2 points.
Yes, Pearson has elected to kick for goal here. You mentioned Featherstone creeping into the top 6, Steve, the top 8, Steve-O, as Pearson lines this kick up. Tried to drift it in on the wing, but misses. In fact, the ball does not run dead. It is, oh, there's a knock on. They have the ball back. They've not got 2. They've got 4. Callan. But the referees, I was going to say he's disallowed it. There was some confusion then amongst the Featherstone players. They looked at the referee before they began the celebration, but Callan with one hand managed to get the downward pressure.
Just been nightmare, hasn't it? They take the ball, they pass in their own in-goal area, and I'm afraid the youngster Hassan made the big mistake, which is a shame because he's worked hard as a youngster. Little doubt, on the line is a try. For those that's new to our game, but to pass, they tried to keep it alive, he didn't take it. They're all at 6s and 7s, and the centre, Matt Callan. You see it hit the line, and that is enough. Different angle. It's been a nightmare for Leeds. On the line, referee looks towards the judges and gives a 4.
So Callan with the try, Pearson jogging back. So difficult for kickers into this gale, and from that angle he had very little chance whatsoever. You see the wind drifting it wide of the posts. So the scoreline now is Leeds 10 and Featherstone 36. Just before that try, trying to get the point in that in 1988-89 Featherstone were newly promoted and they finished 6th in the first division. They are certainly in the top 8 tonight, and what a testament to their coach Steve Martin, the fact that he has dragged the team from the second division last year, established themselves in the big league, and of course has only recently signed a new 12-month contract to maintain the very good work that he has started and is continuing over there at Post Office Road. He had a reputation, Steve-O, didn't he, in Australia for producing dour football teams, particularly at North Sydney.
Yes,
but not so here.
Yes, he always was a safety-first coach. But he's loosened up a little bit, and we've seen the result today. And he'll be happy.
He will, because he played here for Leeds for a season, Steve Martin.
They've thoroughly enjoyed this, the Featherstone camp. Stars all round. Take a bow, the entire team. They've worked hard. They really have taken it to Leeds. Runs from dummy half. We saw very early in the piece how they used the kicking game. A little chip over the top. It mesmerised this Leeds defence. And it's been a great win for them.
Super win for Featherstone Rovers. Not too many miles separates the town of Featherstone and the city of Leeds, but there's a million miles between the two clubs in terms of facilities and in terms of cash. All the big money's here at Headingley, but the winners today are from Featherstone Rovers. And Doug Lawton has just less than a fortnight to ponder this defeat and rearrange things and rejig things and sort the confidence out for that important semi-final. But this is not the sort of defeat he would want to go into that with.
Well, perhaps before this performance, a lot of the Leeds players thought that they'd walk straight into the semi-final, a position perhaps, but there's been some very poor performances this afternoon. It'll pose the question when the Leeds coach Doug Lawton selects that team.
Of course, we made the point also about Saints on Friday. It's only as good as the opposition allow you to play. And Featherstone have come here today and really done a job on Leeds, just as Sheffield did the job on Saints. So the two big semi-finalists go into that so important match on the backs of resounding defeats.
Yes, on that performance, both Saints and Leeds, I don't think Wigan will have much to fear, but I'm sure within that period of time, both the coaches, Eric Hughes, Doug Lawton here at Leeds, will have sorted something out.
Just playing out time now, Fallon jogging back. Lowe's is the dummy half. Schofield with the run. It's Featherstone who are in the top 8 of the big league tonight. Premiership at Old Trafford, the end of the season. In the sunshine in Manchester, I trust that day will be a little warmer than this. There is a biting wind. Here's Iro. Drops the ball. Tutor, well, it was only just forward.
With a scoreline of 36-10 in your favour, you can attempt to try to do things like that. And he was clear, wouldn't he? Terry Manning would have been away to the try line again.
3 minutes of stoppage time gone, and Steve Martin, the Featherstone Rovers coach, has sent the message out that he doesn't want another try conceded. He has noticed it's gone a little sloppy in the last 5 minutes or so. Hassan is then tackled on halfway. There are no more tries conceded. It's Featherstone Rovers' day. They will have enjoyed this. Rapati has played an important part in the victory. 6 tries. Featherstone take home the winning money and confirm themselves in the top 8 of the big league.
To Leeds and get that win must be very satisfying.
On a personal note, it's very satisfying. There's a lot of a big ex-Leeds contingent at Featherstone. But then again, it's a game. We needed the 2 points. Our form over the last few weeks has been a bit disappointing. It was just great to come in and get a result. Leeds, I think, they've one eye on the semi-final, and they come out half-cocked, and subsequently they paid the price.
You went into this game, as you say, 4 defeats in a row. I think most people were tipping Leeds for a win. Have you surprised yourselves?
Well, I think Steve all backed against us. It's nice to prove him wrong, but I think our form constitutes a top 8 spot. As I say, we've dropped off over the last few weeks, and we were going now flat out to finish in the top 8 and contest a Premiership playoff place.
It looked a bit ominous when they came firing back at you at the start of the second half, but you seem to weather that storm.
Yeah, it's frightening. I mean, the Leeds back line is a match for anyone on the day. Today, I think, they just couldn't string 2 or 3 passes together. They got a score early on in the second half, and, luckily for the lads, we all knuckled down. We kept it tight in the middle, and we've come out at the other end and subsequently gone on to win the game.
Ikram, a smashing try which really did settle things down when it looked as though Leeds were coming back at you.
That's right. We had it tough, especially after the second half. They came at us and give it all what they got, and we just, played to the pressure, and in the end we come out, winners.
Another ex-Leeds man, satisfying for you as well?
I think so. I think it's satisfying to win, but to score is a bit special against your own club, yeah.
Steve, that's a result that ends a rocky run for you, so that must have been very satisfying.
Yeah, very much so. I thought we played first class. You know, we have had a tough time of late. We had Bradford, we had St Helens, we had Wigan midweek, and then we had Sheffield all in the space of about 3.5 weeks. So we've had a tough time, and you know, but the guys dug deep and played first class today. What do you put this victory down to in the main? Well, I think that you know, we've had a lot of football over 3 or 4 weeks, and we just recovered it a little bit. We've taken it easy on them in training. You know, we've had a couple of suspensions, and when we got